Space, the final frontier. This is the Observer's Notebook, the official podcast of the Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers. Its mission to explore the solar system, to seek out new observations and data, to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. And now the host of the Observer's Notebook, Tim Robertson.
Hello and welcome to episode 218 of the Observer's Notebook, the official podcast of the Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers. I'm Tim Robertson, the host of the Observer's Notebook. Thanks for tuning in. To all of our new subscribers, thank you for finding us. I really hope you enjoy the podcast. Welcome. This podcast depends upon donations from you, our viewers, to keep it alive. If you enjoy what you see on the podcast, you can donate to it via Patreon. You can start off by giving as little as $1 a month. If you feel even more generous, for $5, you receive early access to the podcast before it goes public. For a monthly donation of $10, you receive a copy of the Novice Observer's Handbook. And for $35 a month, you receive producer credits on the podcast. You can help us out by going to www.patreon.com/Observer's Notebook. And if you'd like to join the Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers, membership begins at only $22 a year. For more information, you can find us at www.alpo-astronomy.org. And we're also on the Facebook. Just search for ALPO Astronomy. And yes, this here podcast also has a Facebook page as well. Just search for Observer's Notebook. And if you enjoy what you see on the podcast, please subscribe. That way you'll never miss another episode. And while you're at it, hit that thumbs up and like. It really helps our channel. And now, episode 218, and we're talking International Observe the Moon Night. Enjoy. All right, I'd like to welcome everybody back to this edition of the Observer's Notebook podcast. And today we have a very special guest, Staci Horvath, the director of the International Observe the Moon Night from Goddard Space Flight Center. Hello, Staci.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Sure. Now, we talked to Andrea last year about it, and you have stepped into the role of director. How does that feel?
Yes, it is exciting, a little bit overwhelming. I came as the deputy director / international partnerships coordinator, and then Andrea left, and she has left big shoes to fill. So, but I'm excited. I love this program. Yeah.
Good. So, what brought you to Goddard?
What brought me to Goddard? That's a great question. So in grad school, I actually went to the University of Iowa, studying my master's in astronomy. I was actually working on the moon, which was kind of fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I found out in grad school that you can actually interact with the public and talk about your research. And I was like, whoa, this is insane. So they had a public observing nights when I was there on the roof of the physics building. So I remember one particular occasion where so we'd set up some telescopes. They also have a 17-inch telescope that's auto-controlled, which is kind of cool. But there's a little girl that looked through one of my small 8-inch telescopes for the first time, and she looked at Saturn, and she got really excited, and she called it a little ball with ears. So oh my gosh, I love this. It's so that, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna continue doing research, but I realized that I really liked talking about my research. So that's when I was looking for public engagement opportunities, and then found my job at Goddard. So I think I've been here since 2018.
So you were doing research on the moon?
Yeah, it was moon / geology. So I was looking at lunar magnetism and how it relates to lunar geology. So
nice.
Yeah, it was fun, but I realized I don't like coding all that much. So
you like interacting with the public?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good. All right. Well, let's talk about the International Observe the Moon Night. We had an event here where I live last year, and it went over really well. We're planning one again this year, and I'm broadcasting it throughout the ALPO. So hopefully we have a lot more participation this year than we had last year as well. But how did it begin? How did International Observe the Night Moon Night begin?
That's a great question. So it actually started way back around 2009 when the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter and LCROSS missions were launched to the moon. So it started out really small, but then it immediately went from like this small gathering to an international worldwide celebration of the moon and lunar science. So we started out small and have since expanded from there. But yeah, it was originally started to celebrate the launch of 2 moon faring missions.
Okay, so that's where the NASA tie-in came in, probably too.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Yeah. It started with some NASA folks, I think in a bar. If I remember.
Hey,
Yeah.
a
All
lot of
the
good
great
ideas.
ideas, right?
That's why I came up with the idea for the podcast.
Yes, exactly.
One too many
It's
margaritas one night, and then
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they all like brilliant ideas. And one of the founders, he's still on the coordinating committee, Brian Day.
Oh,
He's from Ames Research Center. He also helps make our fabulous moon maps every year. So I'll talk about those as well. Because
okay. So, what are some of the main goals of the Observe the Moon Night?
actually, can I share my
Yes,
screen?
you may.
Yeah. Okay, I forgot that I was going to do that. So let me double check. Okay. Oops. Wait. I think I'm sharing the wrong. Am I sharing the right screen? Doo-doo-doo. There we go. Do you see that all right?
I see that. Good. Yep.
Sweet. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to the slide. But program goals. So we actually have some like 2 key goals for the program that are on our website as well. But they're to unite people all around the world in learning about lunar science and exploration, and kind of like sharing this shared experience with people not just from down the street, but from people that are completely on the opposite side of the globe as you. And we provide this platform, and our platform is our website, which is moon.nasa.gov/observe. And on our website, we have a ton of amazing resources available for folks to use. So our goal is to try to, raise awareness of lunar science and exploration at NASA, but also with our partners around the world, and then kind of, facilitate that sharing of different moon learnings, if you will. And we're called International Observe the Moon Night, but it's really like a day slash, I would go observe the moon every day. But having that one like particular day every year is nice because you can say, hey, I'm observing the moon today, and so is my like long lost friend who's in like New Zealand who's also observing the moon. So it's kind of a nice way to connect with others. But yeah, those are our. I'm not going to read them all, but those are our key goals.
Okay. How many countries usually participate?
And I have a good
Oh,
graph for that, or a good moon map, a good map for that. So there's quite a few. Typically, we'll have like around 120 or so. So last year we had 127, and all of this data is coming from our fabulous evaluation team. So we couldn't do this without them. And I love this map because it shows like a bunch of different pins from people all around the world who are participating in the program. And we have a lot of people from America because NASA's in the United States, but we have people from all around the world who participate, and it's amazing to see every year.
that's really exciting to see this map. It really is. It gives you a good visualization just how
Yes,
global
right.
this
Yep.
effort
A
is,
global.
and it's observing the moon.
Mhm.
How great.
Yep. Yes, and we say like we observe the moon, but then we start from there and then go on to learning about other places in our solar system and beyond. So we start with the moon, but then we move on to like Saturn, for example, and then whatever else might be visible in the sky at that time of year. So
That's nice. Yeah. Have you seen any particularly creative moon night
oh my gosh,
events?
yes. Actually, let me just go back. So I love this collage of images. So all of these images come from previous year's Flickr pages. So every year we'll make a new Flickr page for folks to upload their event images to. And I love browsing these after each event. It's so much fun to see how people kind of take the program and make it their own. And one particular instance I remember seeing was in 2020. There's something happened in 2020. We had COVID, right? And we had a lot of social distancing, but that's when people really got creative. And in that Flickr page, there was a group in, I think it was Brazil, that actually had a lunar drive-in. So they had their cars parked out in a parking lot with a giant screen up at the front. And they went through and did their moon show there. So I hadn't seen that before. It's like, oh, that's brilliant. Bringing back the drive-in.
Using your resources and your imagination to get it out there. Mm-hmm. That's great. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
So how does the organization support international partners and organizers?
Right. We have a lot of different resources on our website. I'm going to skim. Okay. That's our fun map there. This is another image, another image collage, but on our website. Here we go. Okay. Our website is, I'm going to keep coming back to our website because we have a lot of resources available for anyone to use. Mm-hmm. And in particular, there's the register buttons. You can join us and register. But we have, for people, for example, who have never hosted an event before, we have a how to host, just a tab on the website. Hey, I have no idea where to start. What would you suggest I do? And we have that, it's a sample event guide on there as well, but on the how to host, we go through step by step. As an example, there's no one size fits all for event hosting. But we also have, if you want to collaborate with others, we have a find a partner tab. So if you are looking for a speaker, for example, we have some suggestions on whom you might be able to reach out to, connecting with local solar system ambassadors, amateur astronomy clubs. They're a big resource, especially for if you're looking for a telescope to support your event. So utilizing these resources on our website is super. I can't highly recommend it enough. But that's how we try to make this event easy to participate in by providing, the website with a bunch of resources for people of all different backgrounds all over the world. Go website.
Our local astronomy club in Ventura, they saw what I did last year in my little community here, and they're promoting Observe the Moon Night for them, and they're doing that at a county park that put there's already newspaper advertisements out there promoting this event, so it's hopefully it's going to be massive. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yes, and hopefully they've registered, because if they register, you can actually search. If you don't want to host your own event, for example, you just want to go down the street or go down to your nearest city or town and participate. We have a find an event feature where you can it's an online searchable database where you can say, I'm here, where is the nearest event near me? And then they pop up on the map. So that's a nice resource to use.
Yeah, you have everything on your website, but how about social media? How has that impacted the event as well?
Yeah. So one thing about social media that's nice is that it connects people from all around the world, which is one of our, it's International Observe the Moon Night. And I don't know if you've heard, but NASA has undergone some social media consolidation recently. So we do not have our NASA Moon social media account anymore, or our Facebook page, but we are utilizing the NASA Solar System social media accounts, as well as the newly branded Learn with NASA social media accounts, and that used to be NASA STEM engagement. So through those media, you can kind of share hey, word of mouth is nice, emails are nice, but also social media, you can be like, hey, there's this big event that's happening. Please, you should try to participate or learn more about the moon. And you can look through a telescope for the first time, or you can draw moon art. So social media gives that like broader depth. And we do have a hashtag. It's hashtag observe the moon. So we're still utilizing that. And that's also a nice way for people all around the world to be like, hey, I'm observing the moon today. And then like show a picture, and then they can connect with other people who are also participating. So yeah, I think social media has helped spread the word, I would say, and then connect people.
Okay. So you mentioned NASA, obviously, as the key partner.
Mhm.
What other partners have you worked with to promote the event?
Right. So as the International Partnerships Coordinator, slash also National Partnerships Coordinator, I love this question. So we don't have like official partners per se, because that would require lots of like documentation and stuff. We do have supporters though, and they're all listed on our website as well. But we've worked with other space agencies, astronomical societies from around the world. We have one in Spain and one in Italy who are very enthusiastic supporters. They always do an amazing job sharing out the network or sharing out the program, and then sending in images. So I mentioned the Flickr page. That's one of my favorite.
Yeah, mine too.
Also connected to social media too. But it's nice to see how people take this program and make it their own. So, and I mentioned our Italian folks. They're actually getting ready for a lunar eclipse coming up. I think next or 2 weeks, September something. And my counterpart there, he's gonna he shares photos from these types of events, and it's a nice collaboration where you're not just talking about your event, but they're also sharing their own what they've been working on as well. And then we've also worked with like Blue Star families to get the military family community more involved, which is awesome. And then I could go on and on. And the Planetary Society is also involved. I've been working.
I think we are too. We're listed on that page as well.
Yes, you are. You guys are the ALPO team.
Yep.
As of I think last year was one of
that was fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. Yep, and I could talk about like the International Astronomical Union. They're also involved. They're doing I'll give a quick plug for them. They're doing a 100 hours of astronomy that overlaps with International Observe the Moon Night this year. On October 4th, they're going to be doing a 24-hour live stream. So from Japan, from a planetarium in Japan.
Oh,
so we're gonna collaborate a little bit on that front. So yeah, it's amazing to see how people are participating.
Yeah, a lot of communications I've gotten from the organization. You're looking for people that are doing live streams of the moon that night.
Yes, we are. Yep. Yeah, we have our application. So if this goes live next week, our application closes on September 4th. It's just a Google form, a quick form. We're just asking for clean feeds of the moon. So like if you know how to stream the moon on YouTube, we'd love to work with you. This is a nice resource to have on our website. We have a live streams page. One for like if it happens to be cloudy where people are at, you can still observe the moon in a different medium. But yeah, so live streams, we're still recruiting them. The goal is to make it a clean feed so that of the moon, so that people can see how the moon looks if it's cloudy, like I mentioned, or bad weather, but also just to see what the moon looks like from different latitudes, because it looks a little bit different depending on where you're at in the world. So yeah, definitely if you're into live streaming things and know how to work it.
Okay, the sign up for that.
Yeah, I'm happy to share that link.
Sign up ends September 4th, you said?
September 4th.
That's only in a couple days. Right. So
September 5th, yes. Next Friday.
Okay, that's only a couple days from now. So get on it. I have a lot of people that know how to live stream astronomy events. So let's sign up for that and make it a big deal.
Yes. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. So what kind of feedback are you getting from participants that do it for the very first time?
That is also a great question. So our evaluation team, like I mentioned, they try to recruit, they don't just analyze our metrics, which are great, stats are fun, but they also they try to share out surveys. So we have two short surveys. One is a host survey, and then another is a participant survey. And from those surveys, people can send in like their feedback, what worked, what didn't work. So like I think last year or in previous years, a lot of our feedback share a common theme of people they like the opportunity to share a program or share like an event that other people are also trying to host from different places in the world. And that's a like the union or unity or connection is a common theme from different feedback that we've received.
Yeah, I loved ours. I mean, I live in a 55 and over community, so it's a bunch of grandparents. So
Lovely.
we held it out by our swimming pool in the facility, and they brought a lot of their grandkids to the event, and
Mhm.
many of them, most of them had never looked through a telescope before. So
Right.
so we had the moon, and we also had a couple of other objects that they could look at the evening too. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. I love
Yeah.
hearing that. That's great.
Yeah. Now, have you heard any stories about anybody that participated and how that's inspired them to go into the sciences or astronomy?
I haven't heard like a particular example from an International Observable Moon Night participant,
Okay.
um, but this is somewhat related. I can say, growing up, my parents actually gave me a telescope when I was in like seventh grade, middle school. It was a very like small 4-inch telescope, but just having that opportunity, and I did look at the moon with it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So that's why I went into astrophysics as my background. So
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Minnesota,
Okay.
actually. So there's a lot of, and now I live in Maryland. So the sky difference is interesting because
Yeah.
my town is not like, I'm not sandwiched between two huge cities. So the sky is much darker, and you can see the Milky Way. So
Nice.
yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, so I was limited
Oh,
to the moon and planets,
yeah,
and that's why I gravitated toward the ALPO back then. It's
right.
just like
Yeah.
that's all I could really see. So, yeah.
Right. And that's one nice thing about the moon though, is you can see the moon from both light polluted skies
Yep.
and dark skies, which is great.
Yeah. So how does the organization go about measuring its success or impact every year?
Right. So I think I mentioned our evaluation team.
Hmm.
So that's our like core feedback mechanism. So in our registration, you can register as an individual lunar observer. There's a private/household option, and then there's a like a bigger public event, like at a museum or a library. So when you register, you kind of estimate, like, hey, how many people do you think are coming? So we use that feedback, and then or that those metrics, and then social media metrics as well, and then our two surveys, so the host survey and then the participant survey. And then like we like, hey, cool, like we got a lot of people participating. How I measure it is if like one person goes out and looks at the moon and like puts a smile on their face, then I think it's a success. Like if someone gets inspired to look at the moon and learn more about the moon, um, or like lunar science or planetary science or
Hmm.
space science or something, I will be happy.
This is a really great program, especially in the environment we live in right now,
Mhm.
where you're promoting science, you're promoting
Mhm.
just looking up at the moon. I mean,
Mhm.
it's up there every night for us to look at, but how many
Yep.
people actually stop and look at the
Mhm.
moon? And this
Yeah,
is this
it's
is
a great
forcing
learning.
everybody one night a year,
Yep,
take
yep,
take a few minutes.
great learning opportunity. You can, like, if you're having a stressful day, just go outside, and the moon may be visible depending on the time of day you're looking outside. But yeah, if I see the moon, and it just puts a smile on my face.
Good.
Like, oh, like I saw the crescent moon the other day. It's like, oh, it's great.
I love your enthusiasm. It's wonderful.
Uh,
Well, as the new director
mhm.
of the group, do you have any hopes or dreams or ideas for the future?
So many that no. We actually was just talking about this today. We have like our dreams for like if we had unlimited resources, this would be so cool to have. I think for me, given like all the craziness that's going on, all the uncertainty, my main hope is that this program continues into the future, far beyond our current, like past 16, I think it's 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
And just like if we have the website up with some resources, people will utilize those resources that we have available, and we'll just take it and continue with the program, whether or not we have like the same resources available. But yeah, that's my goal, is to just keep the program going and far long into the future.
I hope it's a program that doesn't get cut. I really do, because I see a lot of value in it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, if someone wanted to do their first ever event, what advice would you give someone?
Oh, my first thing, go to moon.nasa.gov/observe. That would be, yes, our website. Perfect. If you don't have access to a computer, check out the local library. You can see if they there's actually a borrow a telescope program, which I believe is still going on, where you can go and request to borrow a telescope from your local library. So the one thing is to check our website. Two, if you do not have access to like an internet either, check with your like any local like museum, library, university.
Astronomy clubs.
Yep. A lot of the universities have astronomy clubs as well. And just say, hey, there's this thing going on. I want to maybe host an event for X amount of people that may or may not show up. Do you want to work with me? And then they can be like, oh yeah, like I have some ideas for, if you don't have a telescope, you can use binoculars. If you don't have telescopes or binoculars, you can use our moon observation journal. We have a moon observation journal where you can like sketch the moon over the course of the month. Or, we like to say you can observe in many different ways. That's something that Andrea would say a lot. So you don't need like fancy equipment to look at the moon. You can also use like artwork. You can make the moon out of Oreo cookies or moon phase cookies. You can use like paints, and you can do poetry. So yeah, there's so many many ideas.
We passed out moon pies last year.
Yes. Yes. I think when I first started, we had like a closet full of moon pies. Yeah.
Well, the half-life of those things is like 2 million years, so you can keep them forever, I think.
Yes, exactly. That's great.
No,
it'll be used for next year.
Now, I really like your resource page on your Can you go to that and show us what you have on there?
Let me actually.
Because there's a ton of information on there.
Yes. Okay. So this is, you can see this, right?
Yeah.
The little collage. Okay. So this was just a screenshot of at the time when I took the screen grab. But we have highlighted activities. So every year we try to update our activity page. This includes, I know like some people have asked, like, I don't have a lot of resources. How can I participate? So our activity page is meant to include activities that cover a wide like difficulty level, I would say. So that includes like artwork. So if you have like access to a piece of paper and some coloring crayons, you can make your own moon or different moon phases. And then we have, so that's like the simpler entry level. We also have I think they made a new children's book about the SLS and Orion. I think that's highlighted this year. So that's a nice like just story activity for the younger folks. And then we have a more difficult challenge this year. In that you can make your own rocket launch. So like your water bottle rocket.
Okay.
So that's on the page as well. That one requires a little bit more adult supervision. So that's more on the other end of the difficulty level. But the activities are meant to be, encompass that broad scale, depending on what you have available, who your audience is, and what their needs are. So that's our activities. We also have, actually new this year, we made display banners. So if you can print or like go to Staples, you can print like a big display banner. We have a vertical and a horizontal version, kind of like my background here. Our lovely graphic designer, V Nguyen, has made a bunch of really cool graphics for us. So that's also available if you want to do more, like to draw people in with a pretty backdrop. It's always nice. And we have like promotional materials for people to edit. So we have a fillable press template that you can fill in with your details. There's social media graphics as well. There are translated save the date cards. So we have our English version, but then there's different languages also available on the website there. We also have a curated resources one-pager. So this is also new this year. This is meant for like the broad sharing of key resources that are on our website, because our website does have a lot of resources. So it's meant to be like, hey, here's what are you looking for? Are you looking for advertising materials? Okay, go here. And that sort of like breakdown of information. So that's available. We have like flyers people can download and share. Our moon map. I wonder if moon map. Moon map.
There you
go.
Moon
map's on our website. So this is available every year. It's new. It's meant to be like, hey, this is the moon on October 4th. So International Observer Moon Night's October 4th. In case I have not said that yet. But we do offer flexible programming. So if you are not able to observe on the 4th, we do have registration open the week before and then after. So a full like week span. But the moon map, so that's what the moon will look like on October 4th. And on the map itself you can see different call outs depending on what type of equipment you have. So we have like telescopic views. You can look for these targets, as well as like your naked eye, and then historical sites from Apollo are visible as well. And our moon map's one of our most popular resources. So we definitely try to make sure that's available early. And that's available in PDF version and then also in interactive.
Yeah, I'm blown away with everything you have on your resource page. It's
so many.
It's so many things, but valuable things too, and it's free. So it's just like that's the amazing thing. And so anybody who wants to do an event, your posters and flyers are right there. You just need to fill out your information for your particular site.
Yep. And we try to make it editable so that like we can't fill out all the things every year. So trying to make it editable for people is important.
That's nice. And you mentioned the Flickr page, because that's where you want everybody to go and put their photographs.
Yep. And that's on I think it's linked. It should be linked on our website as well. And I think it's like flickr.com/observethemoon2025. So every year we have to make like a new link, but like last year's you could see is 2024. So if you're curious and you don't know where to start, and you don't want to go to our website, you can go to our previous year's Flickr galleries to see how other people have participated. And you're like, hey, that looks like a pretty fun activity. Let's try to do that.
Yeah, that alone is a great resource to give you ideas. If you're stumbling, you don't want to do the same old thing. You go find what other people are doing and get some other ideas. I love it. This is great.
Yeah. So much fun.
Yeah. So Staci, you have anything else you'd like to share with our audience today?
Let me see if here's some other things. Here's this was this picture, I think it was submitted to our Flickr gallery a couple years ago, but I like this picture because you see the moon, but then you also see Saturn in this small little dot on the upper right there. So that's another like stepping stone into learning more about the solar system and beyond. And I just want to leave everyone with you are invited to participate. Please share the program. That you can, if you want to host a big event, you can host a big event, but you don't have to. You can go have s'mores or have moon cookies out in your backyard, and you're still participating. So yeah, thank you so much, Tim, for this opportunity, and I hope it inspires some folks to learn about the moon.
I hope so too, and hopefully we get a lot of people signing up from our organization and around the world that watch this podcast for the event as well.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, well, that'll do it for this edition of the Observer's Notebook podcast. I again want to thank Staci Horvath for coming on and giving us a real good discussion about International Observe the Moon Night. Hey, get out there, sign up, let's do it. And if you like it, please give this podcast a thumbs up and a like. It really helps our channel. We upload new episodes of the Observer's Notebook every few weeks. You can subscribe to us on iTunes and on the ALPO YouTube channel. You can help support the podcast by donating to it via Patreon. You can give up to $35 a month, or you receive 1 year's membership to the ALPO, as well as producer credits on the podcast. And with that, I thank the producer of this podcast, Steve Siedentop and Michael Moyer, for their continued generous support of the podcast. The link for Patreon, as well as the link for the ALPO, is in the show notes. If you need to get a hold of me, my email address is tim.robertson@alpo-astronomy.org. Until next time, my hope is you always have clear and steady skies. Thanks for watching.